All right, so I'm going to go through this kind of quick, so it's going to be a really rough sketch, and I'll do it in 2 steps. What would you do first? Reflect, so these would flip over here. This point that's up here at 3 would be down here at 3. This one's down here at 3 would be up here at 3, and this one wouldn't move. So there's the reflected one, and then what happens? Up 3. So cheater, cheater, pumpkin eater. Let's see if I can take this and move it up 3, so it would be here. Well, that wasn't as fun as I thought it was going to be to move, but okay. And you're welcome on the quiz to do things in pieces if you have to. You have to do 1 graph, that's it. This one would do what? Shrink horizontally, right? It's like pinch in towards the y-axis. So all of this point, like this point used to be over 4, it would only be half that far. This point used to be over at -1, it would be at a half. This point that was at 1 would stay the same height, but be at a half. This one that's down here, 2 to the right, would only be 1 to the right. And this one was 4 to the right, would only be 2 to the right. Okay, pretend. But do you see everything would move in towards, okay? What else? Number 4. Do we need 3? Okay. All right. So you need to tell me what happened from this to this. Did the x's change or did the y's change? The y's are all the same, right? So the x's changed, which means the change happened where? Inside, okay? It happened inside because it changed x's. So I have f of something going on inside, okay? The x's all got what? Stretched twice as big. It's something with 2, yes. But inside is the opposite of what it seems, so it's actually 1/2 x. Because remember, that would make it a stretch. Okay. Now we're going to go back to this one and go to this one. What changed? Y. The y's changed. You were also supposed to write in words, so you would have written horizontal stretch here for this one by 2. All right. This one, the y's changed, so the change happened outside. Okay. And what happened? The only one that really changed is this, and it multiplied by 2. So that would be this guy. Because outside isn't the opposite of what it seems. Make sense? Okay. What? Vertical stretch by 2. All right. Are we good on this stuff? Because you're going to have your little blue sheet. You want me to do what? One of them? Can I skip around and do like, well, do you know how to find a hole, guys? All right. This one I'm a little worried about. How do you find end behavior? Yes, this one is top heavy. So you would do 4, you can do synthetic or long division, right? Abruzzo tells her class they have to do long division. But why can we do synthetic? As long as the denominator is a plain old x plus or minus something. If it was a 3x minus 4, you couldn't. Or if it was an x squared minus 4, you couldn't. All right. What is going on top, though? 1x cubed minus 5x squared plus 0x plus 2. Okay. What does the blue sheet say about this? Let me try that again. Yeah, we get to throw the remainder away, but Hofbauer also can't do this right. 4, -1, -4, -4, -16, -14. Did I do it right this time? Anybody know? Okay, cross that guy out because he's a remainder, because we get to ignore the remainder. What is this polynomial? yet. Constant x squared. So it has to be an equation. I can't stress that anymore because this is what it would approach. Y equals x squared minus x minus 4. We didn't do any, I don't think yet, but this would be a parabola that would look like this. The actual function, if you graphed, would have had a vertical asymptote at 4. So the graph would have done this. It would have like had this craziness going on either side of that line. But all you have to be able to do is divide. Can we do that? Okay. We didn't do one of these. How would you make up an equation that had a hole at 5? Okay. And a vertical asymptote at -7 in the denominator, right? Now, that's a fine answer. Or you could throw on anything else you wanted for fun, okay? You could put a -2, an x minus 3, another x minus 2. Do you understand what I'm saying? All it has to have is those things. It can have more things going on, but you just had to have at least those two. Moira, was there something you wanted me to go over? Yep. Okay, factor real quick for me, guys. 3x minus 1, no, 3x plus 1, and x minus 10, x plus 2. How did I do? Okay, any holes? Well, it doesn't even ask that. Okay, domain, x cannot equal 10 or -2. So the vertical asymptotes are at x equals 10 and x equals -2. Horizontal, it's equal weights, right? So it's y equals leading coefficient over leading coefficient. And don't just write a 9. It's an equation. They're all equations. Okay, zeros. What makes the top 0? 1/3 0 and -1/3 0. It says write them as ordered pairs, so be careful that you follow the directions, okay? Y-intercept, put a 0 in. This would be 0, this would be 0, this would be 0. We'd left with a lovely 1/20th. That it? Better? Too fast? Yes. Yeah, you can't just graph it. Okay. Anyone else? All right, that was a lot of time spent on that. Just go to the people puzzles really fast. Your assignment is to do the evens. Us want to do I even need to do an adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing one? Multiplying, dividing, like here you just flip it over and cancel factors, right? Do you remember how to do this? You sure? So you'd have, this is number 7, 7q over 7q times q plus 8. I'm factoring as I go. I'm flipping this one over. It would be q plus 8, q minus 1 over 5. What would happen? Q plus 8s would cancel, and 7 and q would cancel. So we'd end up with q minus 1 over 5, which if you go back to the people puzzle should be one of the choices, and you should be learning something about Betty Mae Tiger Jumper. All right, the second people puzzle is adding and subtracting. These you have to have a common denominator. Can I just do number 6 maybe? What? This is even an assigned problem. Don't tell. Okay. What's the common denominator going to be on number 6? B plus 5 times B minus 3. B plus 5 times B minus 3. So this one needs to be multiplied by a B minus 3 over a B minus 3, which would make it what on the top? B squared minus 3B. Okay. Now, this one back here needs to be multiplied by B plus 5. So what are we distributing? Be really careful. That's why I did this one. Yeah, a -2. So up here we have, well, I guess I didn't put them really. I wrote this twice. Anyway, oh, didn't need to erase. Minus 2B minus 10. So that's all combined on the top. This is the new denominator. So I have a b squared minus 5b minus 10 up there. Does that factor? I don't think so either. Can you check number 6? Is this one of the choices on that people puzzle about Mr. Yamuchi? Number 6? Yes, it's a choice? Okay. All right. Evens on the people puzzle for just a little more practice on this. It's the last time we're going to do expressions, and they are on chapter or summative 9. Any questions? Okay, passing out the quiz and stopping the recording.